Welcome. Sports fans, thanks for joining us. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Alongside Greg Anthony and Stan Van Gundy, I'm Kevin Harlan. Allie LaForce will be our reporter tonight on the sideline. Well, guys, for the Philadelphia 76ers, they come in off a loss to the New York Knicks. Now, here's Maxey. Back to George. For the three. And it's Jokic with the rebound. Stan, you know, you think about the release point on Jokic's outside shot. It's tough to get to.
Yeah, Kevin, it certainly is. And the problem is if you start to come out of your stance to try to get to that shot, Jokic will just pull the ball down and beat you on the drive.
And so the Denver Nuggets get the first points in the ballgame. Here's Maxey. It's hauled in by Watson. About 1 minute into the first quarter. We're now joined by our sideline reporter, Allie LaForce. Allie, it's all yours.
Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach Nick Nurse. I asked him the obvious. Is there anything you can do to slow down Jokic? He was surprisingly candid with his plan, and he said they want to force him to switch out onto the perimeter shooters, hoping that he expends a lot of energy and create favorable mismatches. Guys?
And as always, Allie, great job. Thank you. Now here's Iverson. After the miss from Joel Embiid. From down low. And Iverson with the nice bucket. Inside. Iverson's got his second basket of the night.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
Oubre, no one around him. Off target with the open look.
Yeah, a bit of a slow start here. They're 0 for 4 to begin the game.
Here's Iverson. Here's Brown. Off target from three-point range. And George, here we go. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Outside, Maxey. Shot clock at 5. Drives to the hoop. Can't finish the one-handed jam. Denver leading by 4 to the paint. Watson's shot is good.
That was just a perfect possession, getting it in tight for the high percentage shot.
A premier offense for the Nuggets, but defensively, Stan, there has been some slippage.
Well, they've had to make some tough financial decisions, letting some of their defensive-minded veterans depart in free agency over the years. They got to wonder who will step up, but it often takes young players a little longer at the defensive end.
And here's Jokic after Paul George getting his 3 to go. Here's Iverson. It's rebounded by Payton. The 76ers trailed by 3. Out to the right wing. Embiid from outside. The offensive rebound. Jokic with the steal. And they're running. Gordon for 3. Maxey grabs the miss. And the 76ers with possession. Pass to Embiid. Oubre outside. Back to Embiid. From past the arc. Gets that one to fall after missing his first 2. 1 for 3 from the field.
And how about the rookie with a confident shot? Embiid was ready to go.
Pass to Jokic. Five on the clock. The Nuggets with another miss.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
Oubre on the wing. Stolen by Brown. Pass to Jokic. Back to Brown. Now Iverson. To end the cold streak. It's all tied in Philadelphia. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports.
The Nuggets. 6.
And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the 76ers, what are your thoughts?
I know it's early, but all those three-pointers, boy, do they add up.
And with each made 3, their confidence continues to build. Their opposition might want to change their approach to try to slow them down.
And you assemble an all-swagger team. Jamal Murray, Stan, is on that roster.
Well, you're right, Kevin. And look, where players really gain their confidence, their swagger, if you will, in this league is when you play your best on the biggest stages in the playoffs. Jamal Murray has certainly done that. He has earned his swagger.
Iverson, no luck.
You got to finish at the rim right there. You hate seeing those opportunities go to waste.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
And let's go to the sideline. Here's Allen.
Thank you, guys. The Nuggets have gotten used to success. Nikola Jokic said, quote, winning is a lifestyle for us. It's really good when you're winning. Everybody's happy. Everybody wants to play. Everybody is buying into the system. I was here when we were losing, so I do not want to go back to that. Back over to you, Kevin.
They're sure good with him in the lineup. Okay, thank you, Allie. Here's Maxey. Following the basket by Jokic. Maxey attacking. Three-pointer. Misses that one. He's made 1 and missed 2 this game so far. Quarter number 2. We're about 2 minutes in. Pass to Iverson. And looks like the illegal kick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
Yeah, and that's maybe something that should be called more. We see a lot of moving screens in today's NBA.
And timeout called by Nick Nurse. Coach is going to take a few minutes to regroup and go over the strategy. Greg toward a faster pace. Do you miss watching those grinded-out half-court battles that enthralled millions during the Jordan era.
Well, I miss playing more than anything, but as far as watching, the game for me is as good as it's ever been.
Out to Edwards. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Edgecombe. Oh, good with the triple. Here's Valanciunas. Finished off the break. Valanciunas has got his first 2 points of the night.
Power play by Valanciunas. Just muscling past any inside resistance.
Pass to Edgecombe. Here's Bona. And the rejection by Valanciunas.
Well, Valanciunas good for about 1 per game, rejecting that attempt.
.152 left in the first half. Edgecombe, no good. Denver in the lead. Pass to Pickett. The layup off target. And you think about the style of Sixers head coach Nick Nurse. Greg, what stands out to you?
He just has a willingness to experiment and adapt. That's a real asset with some of the challenges this roster has faced. And a big part of why this front office brought him in. And how about the raw athleticism of Edgecombe? He gets to the rim with ease.
We've got 1:18 left to play here in the half. Here's Valanciunas. Got a hand on it. Here's Edgecombe. They get it again. Pass to Bona. Hardaway with the steal. To the wing right side. Now here's Valanciunas. And the dunk by Valanciunas.
Well, that's what Jonas Valanciunas brings. So much force in this game.
The Nuggets shooting their first free throw this game.
Yeah, and fairly decent a season ago, about 77% from the line.
Now here is Lowry, still without a basket. Here's Bona. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Edwards. And there's the drive. Oh, and he misses the dunk. Edgecombe with the steal. To the middle. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
That's a stomach punch, guys. Turn it over and give him a free run to the bucket.
Oh, you're so right. No question who has the momentum now.
A sequence like that really does sting. I'll tell you that much.
And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. The Nuggets on top, leading by just 1. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit. And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. And timeout called by Nick Nurse. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust. Now Iverson. Watson the screen. Oh, Iverson slicing and dicing.
You gotta love Iverson's tenacity, especially when he's driving.
And never Greg an all-star, but he is a star. Jamal Murray can flat out play.
And he's had his hurdles to overcome with injury over the years, but he's never one to shrink from a challenge, and he remains a prolific shot creator.
Count that one.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
And it's Jokic missing. The 76ers trail. Second half just getting started. About a minute played. Pass to Embiid. Just 5 on the clock. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. And Watson slams it in.
Well, Nikola Jokic is probably the best passing center I have ever seen.
Pass to Embiid. Back to Oubre. Outside, George. Here he goes. Good defense by Jokic.
Suffocating defense to keep the layup from falling.
There's the triple. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound.
Well, the defense got lucky there. More often than not, he's making that shot.
And now, Allie Laporte says something for us from the sideline.
Well, Joel Embiid is trying to stay on the court, and to that end, he's lost weight and he's embraced wearing a knee brace. He said, it's the right thing to do, giving me the support for the rest of my career. It may not look as good as it used to, with the jab or the pull-up and all of that stuff, but it'll still work. Kevin, back to you.
You got it, trying to stay healthy. Thanks a lot, Allie. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Down low, and there's the whistle. 3-second violation.
And those are the kinds of mistakes that are magnified when we're talking about a game down the stretch.
And here are the Nuggets now. Here's Iverson. Oh, exploding off the floor. Iverson.
Going to the rack with energy, and the D afraid to cut him off.
Yeah, got to chalk that one up to some shaky defending.
And with the score as close as it is, these are the opportunities you truly can't allow.
Here's the Nuggets now with the ball. The lead is 2. In the corner, it's Gordon. Pass to Brown. To the inside. The power of Jokic. Wow.
Well, it's not what he's known for, but Jokic can throw it down when the chance presents itself.
Outside, George. Embiid the screen. And it's George finishing it off.
And holding nothing back there, George gives the dunk his all.
Timeout is called. First of the game. For the Nuggets. A different look for Denver. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Johnson the screen. Puts up a deep 3. The Nuggets with another miss.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Here's Bona. There's the pick. 4 on the shot clock. Yes, that goes in. Bona's got it all tied up now for the 76ers.
Boy, you can see their confidence growing. They have reason to believe.
Yeah, they're in this one. They have some momentum on their side, and they just need to keep up the intensity.
Denver calls timeout. 51 seconds left to play in the third. Screened by Valanciunas. Banked in off the glass. Valanciunas has got 7.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
To the left wing. Here's Bono. And it goes down 2 points. Bono's got 4 points this quarter. Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over. There's 21 seconds left here in the third quarter. Here's Pickett. No scoring in this one. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
And guys, point of emphasis for the league is to really crack down on illegal screens.
Yeah, and yet we still see it a lot. It's a tough thing to police.
Pass to Edwards for the lead. He's off from 3. It's all tied in Philadelphia. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter next. 3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. Edgecombe with it. Pass to Grimes. Here's Watford. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Clock at 6. Out left to the wing. The 76ers need to get off a shot. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. Now here's Iverson. Back to Jokic. And Jokic slams it in.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. And it's Nick Nurse calling timeout here. There was no hesitating. He wants to talk to the team right now.
Here they come, Mr. ENT.
Philadelphia will go for a different look here. Let's go to the sideline and see what Allie LaForce has dug up for us. Allie, take it away.
I was able to listen in on what Nick Nurse had to say to the team. Coach challenging the team to play faster. He emphasized the main focus is that first pass off a turnover or a rebound. Make it quicker to get the ball out and into transition. Let's see if those words actually work.
All right, Allie, thank you.
Embiid may not look like he'd have a soft touch on that jump shot, but boy, doesn't.
Pass to Brown. Back to Iverson. It's rebounded by Payton. The 76ers leading. Here's Edgecombe. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton.
Explosive in that painted area. Edgecombe can just rise above any type of resistance.
And the basket by Gordon.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
Pass to George. Here's Embiid. Puts the move on. Smooth move on the jam.
Putting something extra behind it. Embiid would not be denied there.
Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Now Edgecombe. There's the drive. Releases from 15. Got it!
Big shot by a big man. Embiid loves being the go-to guy in these spots. And guys, point of emphasis for the league is to really crack down on illegal screens.
Yeah, and yet we still see it a lot. It's a tough thing to police.
Well, Greg, I'm sure their coach is very pleased with their offensive flow right now.
I mean, it's harder than it looks to get it going like this. Now they just have to maintain it. And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Look, when the three is falling like this, there's not a whole lot you can do defensively.
Let's lose a three. Embiid with the rebound. They can burn some clock if they want to.
And get a little breather as well.
1:30 left in the fourth. Here's Edgecombe. Here's Embiid. The shot misses. Outside Jokic. The call will be against PJ Edgecombe. That is his first foul of the game. And here is Iverson. Wide open. That one is good.
Absolutely the guy you go to in this situation. Jokic has no trouble scoring in the clutch.
Outside George. Now Maxey. And there's the whistle. That's going to go on Christian Brown. That's his first foul. First team foul. Six to shoot. Now Maxey. Stolen by Brown.
Well, look, any loss of focus can lead to mistakes. Guys in this league are just too good.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
Yeah, and that's maybe something that should be called more. We see a lot of moving screens in today's NBA.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Jokic with the steal.
And looking for a very quick shot here.
And then foul, trying to extend that game.
Iverson with the ball. The shot is off. So Philadelphia wins it, probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got a sense that the fans gave them that emotional boost that was needed.